building a better Bay Area, moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC 7 News.
Hundreds of people are dead and thousands are injured after Israel is attacked by Hamas and then retaliates. Israel's prime minister says the country is at war.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה. לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה. הבוקר חמאס פתח במתקפת פתע רצחני נגד מדינת ישראל ונגד אזרחיה. אנחנו בתוך זה משעות הבוקר המוקדמות.
Meantime, we're also learning a U.S. airbase in Iraq was attacked multiple times overnight with armed drones.
Greg Palcott live near Israel's northern border with.
Now, I would not, would never recommend attacking Iran within its own borders. I think that would be a tremendous escalation that's not necessary here, because the main goal was to contain Hamas in Gaza and make sure this doesn't escalate. We don't want to see Hezbollah in Lebanon shooting 100,000 rockets and overloading the Iron Dome, and then the United States and our allies have to get really involved in this, which, quite frankly, we already are.
Meanwhile, CENTCOM says that some U.S. troops at an airbase in western Iraq may have suffered traumatic brain injuries. How many, we have not been told, but yet a weekend missile attack by Iranian proxies land near their base, and the U.S. with more strikes on Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen, all raising fears the war in Gaza could be spreading.
We've kind of taken a step back. Now the president's hand, President Biden's hand, is forced. In just a few blocks from here, in the White House complex and the Situation Room, I'm sure they're thinking of what they have to do. They're going to have to do what Teddy Roosevelt said, our 26th president. He said, when you strike hard. And he was the one who said, speak softly, but carry a big stick. I do not believe, Arthel, they have got any option but to go into Iran and attack Iranian targets.
So far, the Iran proxies have launched over 165 attacks on U.S. forces. It's causing many to point out that the administration's one-line message against the radical regime is not working.
I have one word: don't. Don't.
What is your message to Hezbollah and its backer, Iran?
Don't. 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 Don't.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
Incredible. The soft line on Iran continuing today with the White House and the Pentagon both ruling out.
Obviously, the whole nation is mourning with those families. Fox has spoken with the families, and we know that they're grieving mightily, but we are right along with them with our prayers as much as we can be. They need the Lord right now.
Yes,
and moving perhaps into the future now is this idea. Do you think Iran sees it the way we do? Do you think that Iran thinks that we don't think we're at war with them?
Iran has the tendency to be into a skirmish with everyone through their proxies. And Harris, this is what we know. And they have been doing it, whether it's Hamas or Hezbollah or the Houthis or the IRG or ISIS Syria, Iraq. Iran is very content to being a part of the axis of evil right there with Russia, China, and North Korea. And this is one of the reasons we need to put those oil sanctions back on Iran. President Trump had this right in dealing with Iran. Now that they have gotten money under President Biden, what are they doing with it? They are funding these terrorist organizations. These organizations are striking at us. And Iran can say, we didn't carry out this attack. It wasn't us, but the attack would not have been carried out without the money, the missiles, the rockets, the armor, the training that is coming from Iran to these terrorist organizations.
Our audience could see it. How the entire time you were talking, that's how long it took to show the 166 times we've been hit since October 17th. Part of that time, the Secretary of Defense was off grid. And was communicating somehow or another that he was in the Washington area, which left the Situation Room reportedly with the belief that, well, maybe he's working from home. Maybe he's still accessible. That was not true. And looking at where we are now, he was asked specifically about one of the retaliatory strikes, which was very minor coming from us. How confident are you in what you've heard today with Secretary Austin? What should next steps look like?
I am very concerned about what I heard from Secretary Austin. What we do know is that these organizations understand strength and power. And if you are going to deal with them, you have got to take an aggressive step and send that message. President Trump moved forward. He took out Soleimani. That sent a message, and this is the type of step we need to take. We know where these terrorist organizations are. We know who their commanders are. We need to be forceful and send this message. You cannot kill our men and women in uniform. You cannot attack them, and if you do, we are going to hunt you down and take you out.